Oklahoma Republican Senator Markwayne Mullin joining us now. Okay, I take it that you can hear me now, Senator.
I can hear you now, Will, yes.
Okay, well, I was doing this whole thing where I was like, he's an Okie, so I'm not really trusting him to give me some, deep explanation on the rescission process. And on top of that, he's got 2 first names. Like, how do I use him as an expert? And you were flat-faced, man. You had nothing. And it looked like he's ready to come kill me. But you couldn't hear me, right? Just to be clear, you couldn't hear me?
No, I couldn't hear. The only thing I heard was when you was about ready to go to break, you said something about 2 first names and a friend, and then we went into break. So.
Okay, all right. So we're still on good terms. Yeah, I was playing around with you, but I mean, you know this. I did bring you in because I do trust you as someone, not only as an honest truth teller, but as someone who understands this process. It's a fascinating process that's been forward, I believe, originally by Senator Rand Paul, the rescissions process, a way for the White House to make a recommendation to the Senate to make these DOGE spending cuts something real through the legislative process. Is that a likely process we could see play out here to get real government correction and efficiency in spending?
Yeah, when you start looking at the rescission process and unauthorized agencies and programs, those two collide perfect in what DOGE is trying to do. There is literally thousands of programs and departments inside of agencies that have not been reauthorized. However, Congress is constantly funding these programs. So a lot of those programs was what the president read out on Tuesday night. So when you start talking about the programs that we could trigger because of the 1974 Act, and then also the agencies and the departments and programs that are not reauthorized but yet funded, the president isn't obligated to spend those dollars. Now, when we appropriate dollars on authorized agencies or authorized programs, meaning that Congress has voted and approved them, it's very difficult for the president then to go around Congress because of the 1974 Act. I know this is wonky, Will, but just hold tight on me. Anything that's unauthorized, the president is not obligated to spend, but he cannot reappropriate it. He has to send it back to the treasurer. We're good with that. We're trying to save the American taxpayer dollars and balance the budget. The president is laser focused on underneath his presidency to actually have a balanced budget, which we haven't had in 2 decades or 2.5 decades.
Okay, so I think I kept up. I think I did. So this is about agencies that are no longer authorized or their authorization has expired but are still being funded. And the president then, through the Rescission Act, can go back to you guys and say, hey, stop appropriating this money. Let's make this savings permanent.
Yes.
Now, I believe the estimate is somewhere between 100...
we have 45 days to work on that.
45 days to do it after he makes the recommendation. Yes. What kind of savings? I've heard 100 billion. I've heard up to 500 billion you could do through this process.
I think the number, I was actually texting with Elon last night at 1 in the morning because he's like President Trump and literally doesn't sleep. And I was sending him PDF files on literally hundreds and over 1,000 programs that are not reauthorized by the president. Going through those numbers that our office had uncovered for him, we had well over $250 billion just there. So 500, and we just scratched the surface. 500 is really the beginning of it. And what went wrong on this, the reason why we have so many agencies that are unauthorized, back in the 90s, we quit doing line item appropriations in government. Now, you take any city, any county, any state in the union, they do line item appropriations. And Congress is supposed to control the purse strings. We no longer control the purse strings because line item appropriations got caught up in the public term by Congress abusing its power and started doing earmarks, and that's how you got the bridge to nowhere. So Congress overreacted and took our ability away to do what DOGE is doing and going through line by line by line. Truly, underneath current policy that the House and the Senate operates of, we actually can't do that. When the president stood up Tuesday night and was reading all these lines of wasteful money being spent, I know Republicans stood up and clapped, but I was actually embarrassed because that's our job. But we haven't been able to do our job because We played politics with it and took away line item appropriations.
Well, one last question. I'm over time again. I'm always over time. I don't want to take anything for granted. While rescission's process would only take 51 senators, and of course you have more than that, Republican senators, would you get 51 Republican votes to cut all of this, as you point out, at least $250 billion, maybe $500 billion in savings?
I think we absolutely could. The president and the Senate and the House are talking every single day, and I've never seen us work this close together. The President Trump is leading from the front and is constantly communicating with both bodies on a daily basis.
Okay. Senator Markwayne Mullin, all the respect and dignity that imbues, I want to make sure he's not just Markwayne from Oklahoma. He's Senator Markwayne Mullin, who ushered in, by the way, a great amount of President Trump's cabinet, I know firsthand. Senator, always great to see you. Thank you.
Thanks, Will.